then remembered I found myself flowers around making kisses. Talk to myself for hours and say things you don't understand. I can take myself dancing, yeah. I can hold my own hand, yeah. I can love me better than you can. Love me better, I can love you better. Can love you better, I can love you better. Can love you better, I can love you better. Can love you better, I'll be better. I didn't wanna leave you, I didn't wanna fight. Started to cry, but then remembered I can buy myself flowers around the name say. Talk to myself for hours and say things you don't understand. I can take myself dancing, yeah. I can hold my own hand, yeah. I can love me better than, yeah. I
It is so natural. You should give it a try too, Jeff. Okay, so now let's call on the organ band.
Oh girl, you're looking good, your eyesight clothes to wear. She puts on her makeup and brushes her long, long hair. And then she asked me, do I look alright? I said yes, you look wonderful tonight. You're too shy to say things like we both know what's been going on. Thank you.
Just sister, soul, sister, go, sister. Hey, sister, soul, sister, soul, sister, go, sister. He met Mama Light down in Old Moulin Rouge, striking a star on the street. She said, hello, hey Joe, you wanna give it a go? The real lady marmalade. Voulez-vous coucher avec moi ce soir? Voulez-vous coucher avec moi? Hey sister, soul, sister, soul, sister, go, sister. Hey sister, go, sister, soul, sister, go. On her back, and she sways so to free. Ce soir, voulez-vous coucher avec moi? Yeah. Come through with the money in the garment back. Let 'em know we got that cake straight up the gate. We get the baby with some of things for sure. I said, why spend mine when I can spend yours? Disagree without you, I'm sorry. I'ma keep playing these cats out like a tyrant. I usually get the love and the dudes too. Cool checks from the Oracle man. Hey, sister, soul, sister, soul, sister, go, sister. We drink wine with diamonds in the glass box. Taste the things I'm expensive too. Wanna live oh, trouble, la, la. The real lady marmalade. Ce soir, voulez-vous coucher avec moi? Oh, ma sister, voulez-vous coucher avec moi? Ce soir, voulez-vous coucher avec moi? Oh. Come on, easy baby girl. Let me see you. Because there's something special coming up in just a couple minutes.
Lorrie was born in Makati, Luzon on September 15, 1955. She was the sixth child of 11, born to Marcella and Jose Umanda. Her industrious and courageous father was a Philippine guerrilla during World War II, and then a Calesa driver. And then when horses became impractical, a jeepney company owner with several jeepneys and several drivers, including himself. When Lorrie's mother became pregnant with Lorrie, she already had 3 boys in a row and wanted a girl. She prayed and promised the Lord that if the child would be a girl, the child, on her 18th birthday, would go to the church wearing a white dress with a blue sash and dedicate herself to Mother Mary. Nana's wish to have a girl was granted. And when Lorrie was born, she was named Lourdes in honor of the Blessed Virgin. And on her 18th birthday, Lorrie did as her mother had promised. Now, Lorrie loves to be with people. You know, I went to a reunion of her primary school class last year. Primary school. Who has a reunion? I don't know. But anyway, I asked one of her 4th grade classmates, how do you remember her? And his name was Father Toby from Don Bosco. He told me that she would go around and talk to everyone in the class. And she was always talking. Now, everyone knew Lorrie then. She hasn't changed. At 16, in order to escape washing her brother's clothes by hand, she got a job as an underage packer in La Suerte, a cigarette company producing Marlboro and Philip Morris cigarettes. She was a packer there. This was unbeknownst to her parents, by the way. While there, after high school, she went to the National College of Business and Arts as a working student, and she graduated with a Bachelor of Arts degree in accounting. And after college, Lorrie managed the family business owned by her mother and father, which was an embroidery company contracting with exporters from around the world. And while she was doing this, she also managed the apartments owned by her parents in Makati. And in her spare time, she took lessons and became a PADI certified scuba diver. Now, Lorrie came to the United States in 1992. Her first job was as a customer service manager at Sims, the clothing company. She also worked part-time at Office Depot in the print shops. Now, when Sims announced they were moving from Glen Burnie to Towson, Lorrie sought another job. So she was hired by BG&E as a customer service representative. And she was top dog. If a customer had a problem and no one else could resolve it, Lorrie always found a way. She received multiple awards on an annual basis and even represented BG&E in print media and in television ads. And she retired from there in 2024 after serving 19 years. Now, we met in church and were married in 1997 in Makati. She has been a loving, caring, and terrific wife. And she likes to cook and is very good at it. And I can tell you that by the 20 pounds I put on since I married her. I must say, there never has been a dull moment in our lives. Now, she can be quite aggressive in accomplishing what she wants to do. I was reminded of this a couple weeks ago when I was in a store and I saw a man wearing a t-shirt which read, "You can't scare me. I'm married to a Filipina." Now, Lorrie founded the Miami Dance Group in 2012. The group has been very successful and much sought after. She has a creative mind and an astounding ear for notes and music. She choreographs most of the dances, and she also likes, as you've seen, to do ballroom and line dancing. And like most Filipinas, she loves to sing. She has a deep faith in God and is active in Christ the King as a lector and sometimes Eucharistic minister. So she is industrious, smart, resourceful, analytic, pretty, graceful, and talented. Ladies and gentlemen, I have said enough. Please welcome our birthday girl, Lorrie Smith.
Thank you, everyone. I am so thankful that I have lots of friends. I think we are more than 200 in this room right now. Thank you. You chose to be here with me just to celebrate my 70th birthday, and I thank you. Thank you for sparing your time. I also, first of all, I have to thank God. Because right now I'm 70 years old, so everything that I have right now is a bonus from God. Because some people cannot even go up to 50 when they pass away, but I'm still here, and I'm thankful that I have good health. And I also pray that all of my friends, all of you, will also have good health. That's why every time I meet you, I always say, may you have good health, because I mean it. I'm thankful to my parents, they're all deceased. They're both deceased, but they're the one who molded me, and that's the reason why I am who I am. I have good sets of parents. I have good sets of siblings. If I do my life all over again, I will still choose them to be my parents and my siblings. They're very supportive, and that's why that's also an additional thing that I thank God. I thank you. I also thank my family. I thank James, Arian, Jeff, and Melissa. Thank you for spending your time to celebrate with me. I really mean it. I'm thankful. And I also would like to thank, you'll be the last one, okay? So stand by. I promise you will not forget. So, there's so many people behind that really made my party so successful. As a matter of fact, I'm a little bit sentimental right now. I really do. Number one, I would like to thank Dr. Randy Jones, the owner of Promenade. The first time that I told him, can I have my party here? There's no hesitation. Thank you, Dr. Randy Jones. We're always here, by the way. By the way, we're always here. Every Sunday, there's a tea party here. You guys know that there's a tea party here? There is a tea party here. Now I'm trying to promote your business, okay? So there's a tea party. You pay $20, right? $20 every Sunday. John and I is always here. You can do it in here. See, I'm very talkative, so please stay with me, okay? So the time is from 1 to 4, right, doctor? 1 to 5, okay. There's some words and drinks, okay? And then there's a free dance lesson for 45 minutes. Is this an hour or 45 minutes? An hour. That's included in the $20. So everyone who wants to join ballroom dancing, come here. We're going to have a reunion here. Let's party here, right?
And the food on Sunday is almost as good as what we just had today.
Exactly. So come over here. This is where we always. When I was with John and I was still dating, and we're new with Arthur Murray, we're always here. This is the place where we always do the dance practice. I would like to thank Nibi and Veron. HalukayTV! Please give it up for HalukayTV. Thank you! I love you guys. I would like also to thank Jeneline, who made me so pretty today. Jeneline, where are you? Jeneline, I think she left. And I would like to thank Dina, who helped me earlier at the front desk. Thank you, Dina. Liza and Santa, thank you for all the decoration inside the room. And also Nelda, who did this. I would like to thank Kelly Jones from, she's not here anywhere, but anyway, I thank her. Aster, our photographer. Thank you, Aster. Mr. Raymond Gaviola, and videographer also, and photographer and videographer. Okay, thank you. And also the members of the Bayanihan. Oh no, let me do my Zumba group. Led by Moko. Please stand up, all the Zumba. Every Thursday you do Zumba. And also all my Bayanihan cultural dance group. Where are you guys? Stand up. We have Frida, Lorrie, Omar, and Lawrence, next was Perez, Carla Tobacan, Sharon Atienza, Alejandro Nelson, Bonnet, Gabby Gonzalez, Green, Olivia, Jana, Jamie, DC, and Angelina Floyd. Thank you. And thank you. And most of all, my loving husband. I don't know if you guys know it, but I'm impressed with him though. You know, we were practicing. He asked me, what do you want to do for my birthday? Oh, don't want to have any celebrate, any talk, just a regular part. I want a real party. But my request for my group is, I want to dance in Kill, which we did, and who's going to do Prince? It will be my husband. Ta-da! And he doesn't know the Sinkil. It's not an American dance, of course, right? So I have a good set of children, Olivia, Jana, Jamie, Lizzie, and Angeline, who really come to the house faithfully after school just to be with Uncle John. Because they wanted Uncle John to succeed in their Sinkil dance. So where are the kids? Come here, kids. Those are the kids. I think they're here. So after school, they'll come to the house just to practice with Uncle John. And as you know, let's have a picture with the kids. I never had a picture with the kids because they're everywhere. Come on. Let's go for a moment, okay? Yes. These are our heroes right now. So we started practicing, not every day, but every once a week, starting in late July. And as you see, last 3 weeks ago, Jack Ethan was, I don't think you guys know him, that he was hospitalized, right? So I said, oh my God, honey, we will not be able to do the dance because you're here. But at that time, I just prayed and I gave it to the Lord. At that time, what's the most important at the time is my husband's health. I do not care what happened to my program as long as my husband is healthy. And I gave it up and I said, if you will not be able to make it, I'll be okay with that. But guess what? Did you see what she did? Are you guys surprised? I was surprised too. So let's give him a hand. So that's not the only one. So we learned our Venice waltz 20 years ago. Remember, 20 years ago at Alpha Mary. This was still more than 20 years because we're almost married 30 years. So this is one of the first waltz that we learned. Remember, this is my group in Alpha Mary, right? One of our showcase. So I had this little video and I transformed it into CD so that I will not forget because I always loved that Billy's Waltz. And so I told him, I was able to get the CD. I told him, may I request this, let's dance this again. I said, oh no, that's a long time ago. I said, I'm going to teach you again. I'm going to teach you this time. I'm not from Africa, I can teach you. And sure enough, he did. See, I guess because you really love me, and I thank you for that. He said everything that he does is because he loves me. Thank you. So we tried to dance. We were all over. We were over the first time, and we tried it again. And then when he got sick, I thought we were not going to make it, but he was persistent. So after he got out from the hospital, we continued practicing for 3 weeks. Twice a week. We always go to the Coast Guard, at the basketball court of the Coast Guard. It's big. So we go there and we practice. And I told him, you know, you're going to be my hero if you're going to be able to dance the same heel and also the Gillis Waltz. I guess he really wanted to be my hero, and he did it, right? So let's give him a hand for the Gillis Waltz. So today, my real best gift is having a husband like you. You are the precious one, and I truly love you.
You are the princess and one that made those dances graceful. Wasn't she terrific, ladies and gentlemen? Terrific. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's